So, welcome, Ahmed. This is another webinar especially dedicated for WordCamp Asia 2024, which is going to be held on Taipei, Taiwan from March 7 to 9. We are excited for this event. And dear viewer, Ahmed is one of the organizers for WordCamp Asia 2024, and he's in the team of Contributor Day, and I'm also in the same team. We are trying hard to make the biggest, not biggest actually, the greatest Contributor Day ever. And we are going to try and implement some new things that is going to be nice initiative in this WordCamp. Human library and orientation workshop are going to be exciting one. We are working hard for that. All of the table lists are confirmed. We have like good number of contributors day registration and from local as well as other people. There are so many first time contributors joining in the contributors day as well as experts too. So in this webinar, we are going to talk about all these aspects of Contributors Day. And we will publish this video in our Go with WP YouTube channel as well. Go with WP is one of the official media partners for WordCamp Asia 2024. Amit, I think we can start. At first, you can give your brief introduction and then about the WordCamp Asia and the Contributors Day especially.
Sure. Thank you so much for the welcoming words, Ganga, as always. My name is Ahmed Kabir Chaion. I am from Dhaka, Bangladesh, and currently serving as one of the team reps for Making WordPress Polyglots. Also, a co-organizer of the Dhaka WordPress Meetup, and proudly organizing WordCamp Asia 2024, which is supposed to be held at Taipei, Taiwan. Ganga has basically mentioned the highlights that we have for the contributor, which are unique and going to be different this time and hopefully effective. So that's pretty much about myself. Thank you.
Yeah, as I said before, we are going to have human library and orientation workshop. So those who are attending for the first time and those who are listening this term, human library for the first time, can you tell a bit about those two terms? What are the things and how the attendees can get benefit from this?
Definitely. As it was already mentioned that we are trying something unique and we are trying to make sure it makes an impact. One of the key takeaways for this edition of WordCamp Asia is that this contributor day will give an opportunity to the contributors to sit next to a WordPress core committer or maybe a team rep or someone who's been contributing to the WordPress core for many years. You can check through the attendee list. You know who the speakers are. Very soon you'll get to know about the table leads. All of these folks that we want to network during the event of WordCamp Asia will be sitting next to you. The human library is a special touch that is being added through this initiative. Human library concept is pretty simple. Each participant will be slated as a book. If I'm a book, I get to choose a few topics, which the books that are shortlisted have already shared with us. We reached out to the speakers, table leads, and other people who can benefit to the contribution of this initiative. And they shared their topics. And those topics will be shared on one-on-one, perhaps in a group seating. People will sit face to face and they will interact with each other. Let's say one of our speakers has chosen a topic of starting an online business, and the attendees or participants will get the unique opportunity to ask questions about the speaker's experience of how they did. In a session, in a typical WordCamp talk, you do have the question answers, but that's at the very end. But in the human library, it's just an open book. Anyone can engage in discussion. You can start with the question. It doesn't have to be that the speaker is giving you a lecture or a brief. It's just open. And that's the beauty of human library.
Yeah, thank you so much for the clear explanation. Actually, if I want to be a part of human library, or if any attendees want to be a part of human library, either becoming a book or either becoming a reader. So how they can participate or get involved on that?
Well, as I mentioned, this is a unique addition to this year's WordCamp. Contributor Day usually or technically is limited to participants only. However, this year we're trying our level best, and I'm sure you are aware that the location for WordCamp Asia, the venue, is it's got a limited seating. That means there are a limited number of people who can attend. So, to our understanding, we are going to welcome everyone who registered for the Contributor Day already. However, it's already booked in. So we might allow a few more folks on this day. We're trying our level best. As I said, there are lots of things that needs to be done on the back end. And as organizers, we cannot share every details, but we're going to try our level best to allow anyone who walks in and wants to have a chat with the book. According to the schedule, the Human Library is set to start 1 p.m. local time, which is basically after lunch. So as many people that we are able to give a seating, we will try our level best to make sure they can have an experience of the human library concept, where the books are speakers, table leads, and other key people that people wants to have a chat with, and the reader could be anyone. And if there's a table lead who's done with their table duties, they want to sit down and have a chat with the book, they can also do that. So there's no format, it's just open. And as long we believe even human library will allow us to contribute to WordPress.
Exactly, yeah. So while discussing about the human library concept, I think it was really good. And I decided immediately, I think we need to implement this in our contributor state. So I also want to add something on that. For example, if you are looking for some information, some idea about any topic that is related to WordPress or business or marketing, probably you can also talk with the people in the human library decks where we'll have registration and all this stuff. And probably we'll talk with them and request them to find the perfect book, I mean, speaker or any experts on that particular day, and like sit with him for 15 minutes. I think we have like strict 15 minutes time. We're not going to have more than that, I guess. If they want to do more discussion, they can sit in lobby or other places and talk more. So I think that is the idea. If you want to get some information about WordPress and other latest things, like if someone wants to know about how I can get started contributing to WordPress, probably they can go to the decks and say that I want to know about this. And probably the volunteers and us will find the perfect people to match him and will provide him the time and spot so that they can sit and talk with each other. So that would be a great help.
Absolutely.
So if you are still confused about this, please write us in asia@wordcamp.org. Probably we can also write back to the email. And if you find it quite complex, you can also comment in the video. So we can also reach out from that as well. So it would be even easier. Well, so I have never heard about this orientation workshop before. Like we haven't implemented, because Contributors Day is itself orientation. Like the table leads sit and the new year or experience will sit side by side and contribute or launch something together. Why Contributors Day team? I think these questions should be asked by someone different, but I'm asking. So why Contributors Day feel that we should need that orientation workshop in the Contributors Day, and what are the benefits of attending, and how it will be beneficial for newers, first timers?
Well, that's a very interesting question, and I think everyone should try to at least engage in discussion with the answer to this question, because everyone can have a different opinion. However, since I started, I noticed few elements of a contributor day. The key takeaway is that everyone tries to contribute. Everyone contributes to a contributor day gathering. However, if you look back that last few WordCamps that you have attended, the environment, the atmosphere, and the activities are pretty much the same. And every now and then, you would expect that new folks will come and join. So the orientation is tailored and focused at new contributors who want to start with WordPress right away. And sometimes even people who have recently started needs help. Even experienced people get stuck in certain blockers. So the orientation is specifically designed in a way that it benefits both new contributor, mostly to the new contributors, but also intermediate and advanced contributors who want help with specific things about WordPress. As the organizer team gets to work and collaborates with one another, even though it's part of contributor day, we depend on many other teams. That is how we bring success. So the orientation workshop that we have designed this year specifically for WordCamp Asia 2024, they were built and developed keeping all these things in mind.
So I'm also excited for this particularly human library and orientation workshop. We are still not sure how it will go, but we are trying our best to make it better so that other flagship event or other WordCamp will also copy this idea and implement in their WordCamps and contributor state. So I have a couple of more questions. So first, I would like to ask you, what are the things that the contributors day attendees should get prepared before attending the contributors day? Like, what are the things that need to be prepared before going to the event, and what are the things they will see at first, like registration and other stuffs? Can you please elaborate on this?
So honestly speaking, attending a contributor day and expecting people to contribute only requires the participation and the attendance. However, there are certain goals or objectives one may have. And if you are looking for specific teams, then you may require some stuff. For example, if you want to contribute with code, you want to contribute to teams which are related to core, you may need a device. So you should be able to bring your own laptop with a charger and any electronic device that you may need. You need to understand as a participant for the contributor that the organizers may not have everything that you need. So it's a good idea to be prepared beforehand. However, having a WordPress.org account, that's always helpful. You can set up your own gravatar. You can go through the handbook of the specific team that you or table that you want to join. This will help you benefit to be one step ahead. When the discussion and the focus activity starts, it will be easier for you to contribute right away. Even if you aren't able to do that, you can still start on the table, meaning this doesn't take much time. So if you want to create a WordPress.org profile, it can take 2 to 3 minutes. Then setting up Gravatar is another minute, and just getting up to speed will take maximum 15 minutes of your time. And if you're still getting stuck, the WordPress marketing team has about 20 plus videos in different languages to help you go through the process that I just mentioned. So just being there is enough.
Yeah. So as we all know that the importance of contributing to WordPress, I mean, like you are contributing to WordPress, there are so many folks all around the world contributing to WordPress, making WordPress the biggest CMS or the biggest platform to build a website. And we are making our living from WordPress, and we know we should contribute to WordPress, otherwise WordPress will not sustain. So someone might have question in their mind that I pay for plugin. Yeah, WordPress is free, but I pay for plugin. I pay for services. And why I should go to the contributor day and contribute it for free? Because I learn coding by paying in an agency or website, so university or somewhere else. So what is the importance of contributing to WordPress? like what should a contributors day team need to deliver the message to the attendees that they should contribute to WordPress on that specific day in others day too?
I think that's a very broad question, but I'll try to answer in my own reasons, with my own reasons why I would contribute. Simply because of few points. Point number one is the comparison between open source and uh, something that is not open source. For example, a paid product, a hard code. Always remember technology evolves. So if you pay for a code right now, it may not be relevant after a couple of years. However, open source always thrives. So if you look back, any of the open source platform out there, WordPress being a leader, there are many other open source platforms. All of them have survived, sustained with the evolution of technology. And in order to power that evolution, you need volunteers. That's always has been the case. And now I don't mean to be someone who preaches about volunteering. It's just someone's own passion. I believe the people who are joining this webinar, they're passionate about this topic, which is why they're here. Same goes for the contributors day. If you show up for a contributor day, it doesn't mean you're going there to fix a bug. It doesn't mean you're going to share a new design for a UI. It's not like that. You're going there because you believe in this process, that volunteers keeps open source alive. The contributions are very powerful. Even if you hire 1,000 developers, you may not get the same result from 100 self-sponsored or volunteer contributors, because the volunteers does not have an agenda. They do not do it for recognition. They do it because they simply believe in this passion and the project and the platform and the process. So that's point one. Point number two is simply collaborating with the community makes me feel. So I would always show up to meet with you, Ganga, to meet with everyone else. And that keeps my volunteering spirit contributing to WordPress alive. Point number three for me, when I first started, I had a lot of roadblocks. I wasn't able to figure out. Reading through the handbook was very difficult. I believe even today, if anyone starts fresh, they will get stuck with the handbook. So you need a human touch. You need some help, guidance. That is basically which is there for you to take. If you join a contributor day, maybe you find a person whom you collaborate with the Making WordPress Slack thousands and thousands of miles away from your home, but they're right there. So this is all a solid package for me. So I believe if there's someone new and you want to contribute to WordPress, not just to make your profile look wow or awesome, just to believe in the project, you should be there. And seeing is believing. We do WordPress releases around, let's say, 20 or 22 UTC, which is midnight for many time zones, right? But still we show up and we do it together. Now, Contributor Day gives you the opportunity to do it in person. You won't be able to join a release party in person, right? So Contributor Day is there, even though you can join your meetup, WordCamp, etc. So I believe all these points makes a good case for anyone who wants to contribute, or at least go and see how this Contributor Day works.
Yeah, very, very good point actually. So I can relate the things that you said. And before that, we also need to deliver in a way that people, as you said, people need to understand the concept of open source, how open source survive, as you said, because contributors and like volunteers from all around the globe contribute to that specific project, specific software or open source, so that we can use that software for free. So there are so many open source software which are not able to sustain for long term because of lack of volunteers, and that projects are failed. But WordPress is still in the top position. Why? Because we have lots and lots of volunteers from all around the globe, from all areas of expertise. So if you are a WordPress developer and if you are making your living from WordPress, then you need to think that if WordPress sustain, then your living will be sustained. Otherwise, you need to find another job, either Uber or whatever. So there is a saying 5% for the user. Contribution is like that. Probably you earn like some money and probably you save some percent of your income somewhere, like you do insurance or something like that. So this is what we need to do for WordPress. So if we contribute our 5% of our time or resource to this particular project, then it will sustain for a long term so that we don't need to worry about where I should make money for my living. And another thing is that if you start contributing, then you will get a chance to get a network with the beautiful people with a good set of mind. Like you will get a chance to talk with people from all around the world with like same spirit, with diverse set of knowledge. As you said before, whenever you get stuck in a problem, you can easily find the expert who can help you. And for me, especially, contribution gives me a lot of satisfaction and happiness. For example, if I find a bug in a code and report it, I feel myself like happy. If I find a solution and uh, give the solution to someone else, then I feel happy. At the end, what we get is happiness. So if we start contributing to WordPress, then you will or any other open source project. I don't mean to say WordPress only, but if you have started contributing to any open source project, what happens is that you will get a chance to know the in-depth of that particular project, like how it works, how it builds. And after that, you will get the idea about coding and other stuffs. You will get into that. After that, you can also add your value. For example, if you find something interesting that we can implement it on that project. For example, while creating a page um, or while creating a setting, and if you think that, hey, this setting should add the value in that particular area, then if you create an issue somewhere, and if that gets implemented in that big project, then you can easily feel that how happy you will be because that particular feature will be used by thousands of people all around the world. It's like someone love to find like bug in Facebook and other popular social media and they get paid. WordPress won't get paid, but we still have some paid features. I think it's implemented recently with security issue. But if you report that issue or if you suggest that features and if that get implemented, then I think you will be the happiest person after implementing that feature. And another thing is that if you are still continuing in the project, and if you get recognition, like, hey, someone is doing really great in the part of contribution, like have been contributing from so long time, and if we onboard him as a full-time contributor, then he or she can add more value in this project. Then some of the company might reach you and talk with you like me. I have been contributing to WordPress for so many years for free. And I'm still doing the same thing, but I'm getting paid right now. So happiness, get a chance to network with like-minded people, similar type of people, experts, and then happiness, and then get paid. So you don't need to worry about the job as well. So that is what contribution gives you. And for the contribution, to get benefit of contribution, actually, you need to be consistent. Like Ahmed is doing really well, doing consistent contribution to WordPress. Even Siva is also doing, I'm also doing. There are so many people doing in a regular basis. So if you are consistent in the part of contribution, probably you'll get recognized and you'll get paid as well. So this is what you should think about. And the first thing is you need to start. If you if you wait for the day, then you will not get involved. So I have a saying that don't wait for the next sunrise, do it before the sunset. So you need to start it immediately. So that you will get like lots of benefits in different way. So like Ahmed and me, we are just talking to each other. Siva, Sunita, do you have anything to add on the top of that so that we can make this conversation even like informal?
Interesting. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Yeah, I have also found some advantage, people can have their personal growth from the contribution day, contributor day involvement. And I also found some people who involved in that day as a participant and lead the table on next event, because that is a leadership um, uh, benefits, because that is a kind of advantage to them also. That is a biggest achievement of any people who can also involve on that kind of project. That is a personal thing. If we are talking about the growth of the open source project, that will definitely get the benefit from the people also, from the all around the world. People have different locality, people have different thinking, different languages. They can also help to grow the project in one side, and at the another side they can get their recognition and other thing also. That is a great thing to involve in contributor day. I found you guys are involving from WordCamp 2000, WordCamp Asia 2023. And have you also learned something from that event and trying to improve on this 2024? Do you have any kind of planning to improve any kind of the learning from 2023 and trying to implement that in 2024? Do you have any task or something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I will share my feedback first. So when WordCamp Asia 2023 concluded, the organizers had a feedback form. So we shared all the things that were good, all the things that went so good, and all the things that could be improved. And based on our learning from 2023, specifically for the contributor day at WordCamp Asia 2024 has been balanced and adjusted. And since Ganga and myself were also part of the team, along with Lux, and we also had our dear friend there. So we made sure that whatever did not go well in 2023 does not get repeated in 2024. Instead, the whole day we sectioned that whole day in a way that it gives benefit, try to at least give benefit to everyone, because all of the attendees may have different needs, and that's what tried to adjust this year. Maybe Ganga would like to add something to this. Ganga?
Yeah, no, so it's a nice question actually, and we always try to improve the contributors day from last year to this year. Probably we'll also learn a few things and we implement in the end of the year. Last year we have some problem with the registration, like there is some like long queue and other stuff in the registration, and there was some problem about the foods and similar type of things. The event was actually good, like all of the table lists were very like supportive to make that event very grand successful. Ahmed was also doing some live session and taking feedbacks from all the attendees. Event was actually good, but there are some few minor things that I think attendees doesn't notice that, but as organizers, we are trying to make even better. So probably we are going to improve that part probably. And from last year, what we learned that is instead of having all the Make WordPress teams in the contributor state, let's try to have the selective one, because some of the tables are really empty. So instead of having the empty table, let's have the limited number of tables so that we can get like interested people in that particular table, so that it would be also helpful to manage for the organizers. Instead of 22 different teams, we have like 16 teams only this year, and that is also improvement one. And we are trying to make we're trying to make the space really spacious so that we can easily network and talk with different people. Because if you have the congested area, you really have to go to the people and talk with that. So there are a few things that we learned from the past year and we're trying to improve and implement this year.
Okay. And how do you guys have categorized the contributor expect that should be involved in the 2024 and will not include on that table, like you guys will not cover like open source or sustainability type of, or I also found one tide kind of
Size,
contribution.
DLI,
Yeah. So
TV.
how do you categorize that would be helpful to the WordCamp Asia attendee for that event? How do you categorize that?
Yeah, actually, we figured it out which table we should put in the WordCamp Asia 2024 is based on the number of attendees and number of interested people in WordCamp Asia 2023. So it was based on the number of people sign up in 2023 and actually how many people show up in that particular table. And we also talk with the respected table team leads, like open source. It's really hard to contribute actually. And last year in WordPress.tv, actually there was only the table leads. No one showed up there. So what do you think that instead of having all the table, let's have the selected one. And we added some table as well. For example, we are not planning to implement meta team because like contributing meta is quite complex. But later meta team reached out to us and said that we can also contribute in that particular day. And then we discussed with them, talk with them, and we onboarded the meta team as well. So based on the feedback, based on the solution, and based on the people that showed up in last WordCamp, that was the key factor that we decided to build this team this year.
And if I can add to what Ganga just said, this year with the sign-up form for WordCamp Asia 2024, even when people tried to purchase, there was an option if you want to attend the contributor day or not. So we also tried to get that feedback, how many people are hoping to be there in the contributor day. Plus, the key takeaway is communicating with the existing team reps. So we've reached out to every single team. We took their feedback. Not all the team reps can make to WordCamp Asia in Taiwan this year. And not all the teams can have representation. However, there will always be a contributor who can help out. If someone suddenly shows up and says, hey, you don't have the Openverse table, but I want to contribute to Openverse, I can assure you there will be someone who can help it out. That's our duty as organizers, specifically for the contributor day team. Myself, Ganga, we also have Toru Miki from Japan. We also have JC Palms from the Philippines, who's the team lead this year. So all four of us will make sure if someone steps in the venue and says, hey, I don't see a table for WP Tide, we'll make sure that they can also contribute to WP Tide, because we believe we have veteran contributors attending. We have core committers who can facilitate that, even though we may not have a specific table, but contribution will happen for sure.
Yeah. You guys also have planned some kind of human library that can be also helpful for other people who are trying to involve in that kind of contribution. And what
Exactly.
What may be the measurement factor for the success of this kind of contributor day, or that tax you have taken? What may be the factor of success on that day?
I believe acceptance is more important than success to us as organizers, but every participant gets an opportunity to share their feedback. Like with every WordCamp, there is a feedback form survey that you can fill out, but more importantly, it's on the day itself. From 2023 experience, I've noticed table leads coming up to us, giving us a hug, telling us that, hey, you've done a beautiful job. That is more powerful because that fuels our passion. So the success criteria for us in Taiwan will be making sure that WordPress is a common commodity in Taiwan. We want to make sure, since this is happening in Taiwan this year, and we want to make sure that the Taiwan WordPress community, they're already active, but there needs to be supercharged. So I believe if this event makes it happen, that the Taiwan community gets hyperactive about contributing to WordPress, that would be good enough success criteria, at least for me representing the contributor day. Maybe Ganga would like to add. Ganga?
Yeah, actually, nice question. And as Ahmed mentioned, we usually get the quick feedback during the day. Like when we start, people started talking with people, talking with us, talking with organizers, and probably we'll have 2 more additional days, the session days. People still come and talk with us like, hey, you this, like this, like this, like this. And some of the ideas of flagship event usually copied to their local WordCamp Asia. And that is also a great success. Hey, in WordCamp Asia, they implement this idea, and probably that idea can be implemented there. And flagship event is just like enlightenment for the attendees or organizers of the local WordCamps. They can get some idea. And if the idea that we implemented in the WordCamp is reflected to other events, then that is also a great success. And another thing is that we need to be satisfied as the organizers, as an attendee. And we can't make like everyone happy. Someone will still complain about the food. Someone will still complain about the chair. Someone will still complain about the internet. But the thing is about the majority of the attendees. How the majority of the attendees will get that particular day. Because all of the attendees will not aware about the idea about the particular day. Probably they will come to the contributors day, probably with a different mindset, and their expectation will not meet. You know, like the movie that you like the most will not like the people. Probably the other people will not like the movie. Oh, it was just a general movie. Probably people say that. Why? Because the perspective. So we need to listen the attendees. We need to listen the speakers and other people, organizers, and we need to evaluate their feedback. Like what are the things they said, and on the top of that, the attendees. What the genuine attendees said that is that we were able to meet. Then that is what success is, I guess.
Yeah.
But there is no. I think there is no existence of success, because we can't like always satisfied with the work that we do.
We can also collect some kind of feedback from each of the
we usually do. Yeah,
each of the attendee, like providing one kind of form to them, and they just tick or thing like that.
The thing is that people usually say that the event is great, but we need to read their eyes and face as well in that day, like how they are satisfied. It can also reflect in their face and reaction as well. So like if we provide in the form, they usually say that, hey, it's good, something like that. And it's still hard to compile all the things, but still we'll try that.
And one important question is according to my experience to the leading contributor day table or something like that. One thing is people are from different regions. They cannot understand English, or they have some kind of knowledge problem. And another people, some group of people do not know about the WordPress, do not know about the jam, but they are just trying to get involved to the day. How you guys would address that kind of difficulties, or something kind of helping perspective?
Exactly. Like in every WordCamp and every contributor day, we have the diverse set of people with like experienced one who actually work in core WordPress, and newbie who are attending the contributors day or even the WordCamp for the first time, or even listen to WordPress for the first time. To make the things balance, we implemented the orientation workshop this year. So the experts can sit to their respective table and start contributing. So we don't need to guide them. They can work and they can simply set their own milestone. Probably I will review 5 themes. Probably I will fix 5 bugs. Probably I will translate 100 strings, something like that. They will set their own goal and they can start working. But people who are not aware about where to start, how to start, what is happening here, to address that people, we have the orientation workshop where They will sit and the expert will briefly tell about the importance of contributing to WordPress, like we are talking about. And based on their questions, we will answer them. Probably those who attend the orientation workshop will not able to contribute in that particular day.
Yeah.
But our goal is to make them aware about the importance of Contributors Day so that they can go home and they can start contributing, or they can join another Contributors Day and contribute. But the one good thing is that we have a WordPress photo directory. One of the easiest way to give back to WordPress. Everyone usually have their phone. They can simply upload one photo from their mobile phone and be a part of contribution. Means that we will try to give information about the Contributors Day, benefits of contributing. Probably we will help them to create WordPress.org account. Before the event, we are also planning to send email to all the attendees who are interested in contributing today. We will request them to make the ORG accounts and other stuffs in the email. Still, some of the people will show up on that particular day. Probably we will teach them how to make the WordPress.org account and how to start contributing. And probably they will start with the very easiest one, probably translating the string, or probably contributing to the WordPress photo directory. Our goal is to at least onboard them in the part of contribution. And as you know, that contribution is just a hobby. It should be interest, and those who are who find it interesting, they will probably contribute.
And what about the language?
I was going to answer that. So for that particular reason, since Taiwan is a very unique destination, and they speak Taiwanese, and which is not that commonly spoken. And considering that there will be other people from different countries, specifically for the contributor day, we will have folks who speak both English and Taiwanese in the different rooms or the halls where the tables will be set. The volunteer team for the WordCamp Asia 2024 has allotted people or volunteers who speak both languages. Even if we find some other folks who speak different language, we'll try to find if there is an interpreter for that. So we'll try our level best to make sure that the language doesn't become a barrier. So that is already being discussed, and we have people to help out. Also, to address Sunita's question, which was very important for us to mention, that the orientation is going to be 1 hour long, and those who need more time can also have more time because we have that capacity. So the official schedule is on the website right now, so you can go and check out. If anyone's listening to this and you are planning to come to attend the contributor day, you can check out the complete schedule. So I believe language should not be an issue. Even if it is, it will be something for us to learn for the next WordCamp, hopefully.
Yes, that is a very common problem to the every WordCamp. And one thing I'd like to add is some contribution types need a kind of workshop, not only the table or some people gathering that need a hour of workshop, like 1 to 3 hours. How do you guys have think about that kind of thing so that they can get involved in that way?
Well, so as this is a flagship event, and we are not going to focus more on like training them to make plugins or training them to make things or something like that. What we are going to more focus is showing them the importance of contribution or actually contributing. We are just trying to divide the people, attendees, in a two part. One is experienced one and one is beginners one. Beginners one can join the workshop and the experience can contribute. But in between, for example, I already attended the Contributors Day. I know the word Contributors Day, but last year I was in Polyglots. This time I want to contribute in core. Probably they can sit in the core and learn from the respective teams. And we are not going to like do some like fancy things, but we are just request the respected table list to guide them in a very decent way, in a very proper way. And in every table, two are the two. Some of them have 4, some of them have 3, some of them have 1 table list. But still, there are some other people who are experts and can guide the newbie as well. So that is the plan we are doing actually. And some of the teams reps are actually not attending, and they are not actually leading the table. There are some experts who are leading the tables. For example, in plugins team, probably the current team leads are not able to present, but we have the experts who are going to lead the table. And that sometimes that table leads can also guide the contributor state in that particular table based on the idea that he has or she has. Probably, for example, plugins team can simply say that these are the things that we know we need to check while creating our own plugins. Probably talking about the security, probably talking about the plugin standards, and probably community team will do something different. So we are not actually going to tell about the codings and other stuff. We are not going to say about the coding things, but we are going to show the importance of contribution and how we can actually contribute. But
this is
experience. For the workshop, in the conference day, we have the workshop. So you can check the schedule.
Yeah, because we are involving lots more local people from the Taiwan also. They may not have this kind of contribution day kind of concept, WordCamp or session we have categorized, because they just get involved with the hall and just trying to learn about WordPress. We may have to facilitate basic workshop of WordPress.
In the conference day, we also have the training team, So those who really look for that particular idea, like how to get you started, probably how to follow WordPress, they can simply join the training table. So they can join the training table, and training table, the lead will provide enough resources. We have like videos, we have like courses, and they probably ask them to do that. But the theme of the gist of particular day is not to do that, but as you said before, those who are attending for the first time, and if they want,
people can get confused.
If they ask and they really want, then as a WordPress contributor, probably we can sit in a calls and probably we can guide them as well. That's not a big deal because we all want to help each other.
Yeah, and also as Brother Shiva mentioned, ironically, this is going to be the first contributor day in Taiwan. There has never been a contributor day in Taiwan before this one. So this will be something unique.
This will be something unique and something different from them, because they have not involved a day-long session for the contributing WordPress, because they are people from local community and they are just excited about the event. They just don't know about the contributor day or WordCamp type of sessions.
We had WordCamp Taiwan happening last year in 2023 October. So they're getting the flagship feel. So it's great to do this in Taiwan, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So we are running out of time. If we have something to add, we can add.
Yeah. So
can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's so nice to talk to Ahmed after quite a long time. I hope you're doing well. And yeah,
doing
first
excellent.
of all,
thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome. First of all, I wanted to thank you both, Ganga and Ahmed, for doing this once again this year. You did great last year and you're doing this year too. Your commitment to WordPress contribution is really, really admirable. And I wanted to ask you personally, will you be doing this next year too? Because
so yeah,
I don't know anybody else who can do this like you guys are doing.
Yeah, like when I first started, I heard about Ganga, and the place where I was working, WeDevs, Ganga was affiliated. So everyone who tried to help me out, they gave me example of Ganga. So I followed him. I tried to learn from him. And now it's like a virus that I got from him that I may do it again next year. So
I
it's something that, like I said, it's a passion. It
mm,
fuels me. And another reason is that the Dhaka WordPress community was restructured. The meetup, official meetup chapter, it got restructured last year. And we had 23 organizers in the past. Now we have 9. And
mm,
only myself and my younger brother, 2 of us, are from the old organizer group. That means we have a majority of organizers who are new, which is
mhm.
giving us the responsibility to continue this forward. I need to continue to do this so that I can bring new contributors, not only from my local community, also from greater Bangladesh, and also someday, maybe in 2025, we want to host WordCamp Bangladesh. So if that is going to be something that we want to do, WordCamp Asia is helping us actually. To
Oh,
me, helping me, my local community, my country. It's a great initiative and opportunity for myself and the whole nation to actually continue to do this. If I continue to do this, I'm sure 5 or 10 more people from Bangladesh will show up. That's my reason.
wow. That's great.
Ganga? Yeah.
Thank you so much for the tough question, Sunita. Like I haven't
Is that a
decided.
tough question?
Yeah. So
Okay.
probably there are a few things that I need to consider before applying for WordCamp Asia next year.
Mm,
So the first thing is how 2024 will go. Probably I'll be 100% satisfied with the work that I will deliver in this particular WordCamp, so that I can think about the next year. Probably the place where the WordCamp Asia will host, I think it will that will also depend upon my things. But still,
right.
if I will not be directly involved in WordCamp Asia as an organizer in next year, I will be involved with any other types, probably from media, probably from attending it, or probably from doing volunteering. So wherever and whenever possible, I'll be with WordPress. So I'll try to organize it, but let's see how it will go.
That's so wonderful. Yeah, whatever I said, that's so true that you guys, with your answers, proved it once again. And yeah, I heard about this human gallery as well as this orientation workshop, which is going to happen for the first time, as far as I know. So I would be very excited to join, but unfortunately, I will not be joining this year. So I was wondering whether you will be having this live telecast, or also I was wondering whether there will be something like contributing remotely. I think WordCamp Europe had this kind of thing, like people could contribute from home. So is there something like that for us, those who cannot make it this year?
By physically?
Yep. So first thing is that the live stream will not happen. This will only be for the sessions. So all the talks will be live streams and recorded, but the contribution, even though there will not be any live stream, there will still be an option for people to join remotely using Making WordPress Slack.
Yeah.
All the tables that we have set, there will be, we're expecting some P2 posts from each team who are joining. At least I represent Polyglots. So there will be a post from Polyglots how people can join remotely to the contributors day at WordCamp Asia 2024 and what will be our key focuses. I'm sure Core has already planned something. So people will have the chance to join via Slack.
Okay, that's wonderful.
That's
I'll
the
try.
regular thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope I'll join, and also hope the people who are watching this webinar or watch this video later will also join.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay. I think, do you have anything to add at the end, Ahmed, before wrap up?
I think I will simply say that I understand that Taiwan is a very unique destination and not everyone isn't going to be able to make it. People have other priorities, but I just want to emphasize on the open source spirit and the WordPress project. It definitely truly changes people's lives. And even the Hero Press, people of WordPress, all of these stories, I read stories of Sunita. I think Ganga has his own story as well. And this inspires other people. So I believe if someone is watching this, if someone gets to know about WordCamp or Contributor Day for the very first time, just try to learn more. Maybe it will give you an opportunity to change your life, because WordPress does change people's lives. So yeah, that's my final word. Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. The great thing. Okay, so let's wrap up the event. Do you have anything to add?
No, actually. Thank you, Amit, for your time. And we are excited to meet you in person again. First time in 2024. And probably we'll get design time and we'll land on Taipei before the event. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Thank you. Good
Thank
night.
you so much.
Good night.